Who should France pick for the upcoming Six Nations game against Scotland? This is going to be an absolutely epic game this weekend. And in my opinion, this probably is the game of the weekend this weekend coming for the Six Nations. I mean, Scotland is a very good team, especially on their good days. They can almost beat anyone in world rugby, but they really haven't been able to beat the best teams in the world recently. They've come close, but they just haven't been able to do it. Now, this game being played at Murrayfield makes it even more spicy this weekend, and I think this is going to be an absolutely awesome game. But in this video, I'm going to be going over who I think France should pick, who I think they could pick, and who I think they probably will pick for the upcoming game against Scotland. But guys, before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And if you do agree with some of my takes on my comments, let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you do disagree with some of my picks I have here, remember this is just my opinion, then please let's talk about it in the comments. I've been so overwhelmed by all the France fan support. I mean, when it comes to some of the fans, the Irish fans, the Italian fans, the France fans, the Scottish fans have been absolutely awesome. So thank you so much for all the support. And I mean, we had 1,500 subscribers right now. Well, it could be 1,600 today, and it's absolutely just been exploding recently. So thank you so much for all the support. But let's get right into it. So at number 1 for France this week, I think they'll go for Dorian Aldegheri. I don't think they're going to change too much. And I mean, the props for France have been decent. It's probably been their weak point recently, but I don't think they're going to try change too much, especially going into this game. I think it might be more of a risk to change more players than it is to kind of keep things the same. I do think there will be a few changes, but that's kind of based on injuries, guys being healthy again, and maybe some guys on form getting the nod over some others. So at number 1, Dorian Aldegheri. And number 2, I think they'll stick with Julien Marchand. He's been really good so far this tournament, and he's one of those guys that he honestly is a leader in this forward pack, and he leads from the front. He's good at line out time, he's good in the scrums, and he's very good around the park. He makes himself a nuisance at ruck time as well. So Julien Marchand right now definitely is the number 1 hooker option for France. I mean, if you think between him and Piato Mavaka, I think Julien Marchand is probably a better starter going forward, and Piato Mavaka has more of a bit of a impact from the bench. And I think it's good to kind of allow players to play to their strengths, because if you play Piato Mavaka off the bench, especially in the second half when teams might be tired or France has already run a team off their feet, then he's just going to come on and add so much value. So I think having Julien Marchand in the starting lineup is perfect for France. Number 3, Jean-Baptiste Gros. He's been okay. I thought he had a much better performance against Italy, and he was actually a lot better that game. So I think rewarding his form, and I mean, he is healthy, so I think he should be in the number 3 jersey again. So I think the front row of Dorian Aldegheri, Julien Marchand, and Jean-Baptiste Gros is perfect for the France game against Scotland this weekend. And number 4 and number 5, this is where it became difficult, because the likes of Emmanuel Mialfu and Thibaut Flamé played really well against Italy. But I've gone for Charles Olivon and for Mikel Guillard. I think these two have been the informed locks so far for France. But I mean, the other guys have been phenomenal. But I think they'll get the opportunity from the bench. This kind of does open a lot of opportunities for France. They could even mix and match with the likes of a Charles Olivon and a Thibaut Flamé, or Emmanuel Mialfu and a Mikel Guillard. They can do so many different variations of these two combinations. But I think right now, this is a must-win game, and if France do want to keep their Six Nations Grand Slams hopes alive, it's going to be tough against a very good Scotland team that's kind of been winning 2 games now and trending on the up. So I do think Charles Olivon and Mikel Guillard are probably the 2 right guys to play for this game. They've been the informed players, and I think keeping it the way it was for the other games when it really worked out well will probably just be the kind of recipe they'll go with this game. So number 4, Charles Olivon, and number 5, Mikel Guillard. In the loose forwards now, I've kept the loose forwards the same. I mean, Francois Cross at number 6, Oscar Giroud at number 7, and Anthony Gelange at number 8. These 3 have been such a well-balanced loose trio so far in this tournament. I mean, they all do such hard, really unseen hard work. I mean, they are such nitty-gritty forwards. They really like getting stuck in, especially when it comes to the physical side of the game. I mean, you'll almost never see them around the field, because they're always just getting stuck into rucks, getting stuck into tackles, and most of the time, each one of these players have tackle stats above 10 or 12 tackles in a game each. So that's about 30 tackles to 36 tackles, maybe even 40 sometimes, tackles spread out between these 3 players in a game. They're always hitting rucks, they're disturbing the rucks, they're being pests at ruck time, they're slowing down opposition ball, and when they do get the ball on the offensive, they are very physical, and they almost always get over the advantage line as well. So this kind of loose trio of Francois Cross, Oscar Giroud, and Anthony Gelange has really been impressing me, and I must say, Oscar Giroud at number 7 has really been impressing me lately. I do know Paul Bodein might be back soon, and I'm pretty sure when he is back, he'll probably get a cap off the bench. I'm not too sure on his status right now, if he is 100% healthy to play. If he is, I probably would like to see him come off the bench, but I think right now, this starting lineup loose trio is perfect for France right now. At number 9, I've gone for Antoine Dupont. I did see a lot of people saying that I should not say the T at the end, so it is Antoine Dupont. I mean, he's been the informed player right now in the Six Nations. He's been absolutely awesome, and against Italy, he just showed it again. I mean, he got the better of Italy, especially his opposition number. Physicality-wise, defensive-wise, offensive-wise, he was able to break the line, get a few try assists. His kicking game is phenomenal. He can kick with both feet. He kicks the ball really far, and he's just one of those guys, you can put him in any situation, and he'll probably come out being on top. So that's really, really important for this France team right now. But I do think that the 9-10 battle this weekend is going to be a very interesting one, and I really am excited for it. Remember, the Scotland team can beat any team on the day, so I really am looking forward to this game. Look, I do think France, of course, are the favourites by quite far, but if Scotland does pitch up, it could honestly be France's toughest test so far in the Six Nations. I mean, Ireland didn't play their best against France, or maybe France just didn't let Ireland play their best. Italy was a kind of an arm wrestle throughout some of the game for the first 50 to 60 minutes, and then France ran away with it. France absolutely ran over Wales, but I think this game could be a much closer game, especially if Scotland do pitch up at Murrayfield. So it's going to be a very exciting game, but I think Antoine Dupont's going to be very important. Number 10, he didn't play against Italy because he had a bit of a niggle in his calf, I think. But Mathieu Jalibert at number 10. This guy is absolutely awesome. And in my previous video where I said how are France busy dominating the Six Nations, one of the stats were that Mathieu Jalibert, Antoine Dupont and Thomas Ramos had most of the touches in the team, most of the passes in the team, most of the defenders beaten in the team, most of the meters gained in the team. And they were just... every single thing in this team runs through either Antoine Dupont, Mathieu Jalibert or Thomas Ramos. And I think these three guys are the core important group for this team. They are the key playmakers, they are the key leaders, and they really are the driving force in driving this team forward. And I think if the France forward pack do get that front foot dominance, which they probably will, I know Scotland's forward pack really isn't where their strong suit is, then I think these three guys are going to really benefit from that. So I think Mathieu Jalibert at number 10 is a bit of a no-brainer as well. He's been awesome. He's been one of the informed 10s in the world recently, and especially in Europe. Alright, moving on to the centres. Number 12 and number 13. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I know for a fact that Yoram Mofana and Nicolas Deporté, I've read reports that they might be healthy. So I think for this game, they're going to go back to Yoram Mofana at 12 and Nicolas Deporté at 13. But I do think that Emilien Gaiton and Fabien Brel-Boury have been absolutely awesome. But I don't think that it just ends here and that those guys, Yoram Mofana and Nicolas Deporté, have their positions back. I don't think that's the case going forward. I think this is going to be one of those games where they'll probably stick with the guys that started the tournament as their first options if they are healthy, give them a good opportunity. But I do think one of those guys between Fabien Brel-Boury and Emilien Gaiton will be on the bench. You guys will see which one later on, and it kind of does make sense. So I think at 12, Yoram Mofana, 13, Nicolas Deporté. Two Bordeaux players, really good players, playing alongside Mathieu Jalibert. They're very comfortable together. And if you think of the likes of a Louis Biel-Barry on the outside of them, they really know how to play together. They have a lot of cohesion. It just makes sense. And if you do want to bring these guys back who supposedly are the number one option, you kind of have to do it in the big games like this. You can't just save it for the last game of the tournament. So I think if they are now healthy and ready to play, they should be playing Yoram Mofana and Nicolas Deporté. Now, who is the first choice centre pairing going forward? I think you can only analyse after the tournament because Fabien Brel-Boury and Emilien Gaiton have now had two solid games together, really good games together. I mean, the Wales game, they were awesome. Against Italy as well, they passed the test with flying colours. Nicolas Deporté and Yoram Mofana have only played against Ireland, so giving them another test against Scotland can kind of let the coaches like Fabien Galtier see who is actually his number one centre combination right now. I do think it is Yoram Mofana and Nicolas Deporté, but I mean Fabien Brel-Boury and Emilien Gaiton have been absolutely awesome. But I do think giving those two guys an opportunity now that they are back from an injury probably does make sense. Now, moving on to the wings, at number 11, Louis Biel-Barry. I mean, this is a bit of a no-brainer. He is one of the best players in the world. He's probably the best number 11 in the world right now, probably the best wing in the world. And I mean, that's coming from a South African fan. I mean, he's been in the form of his life recently. He's been absolutely awesome. And I think if you do give him an opportunity, he's going to take it with both hands. And I do think that matchup with Kyle Steyn, if Kyle Steyn is available, Louis Biel-Barry at 11 versus Kyle Steyn at number 14 is going to be a very interesting battle because Kyle Steyn, probably from the other countries' teams, has been the informed winger recently. So that's going to be a very good battle. And I think Kyle Steyn is a phenomenal world-class player. And I think he will be up for any challenge. But will he be up for the Louis Biel-Barry challenge? I guess we'll just have to see. But I mean, I do think Scotland's backline probably is the second strongest backline right now in the tournament. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if both backlines do pitch up on the day and both backlines are clicking. That could be absolutely awesome running rugby to watch. At number 14, I think they'll go for Theo Atisogbe. It just makes sense. He's been really good. He was given the the opportunity to play at fullback against Italy the other day, and he did really well under the high ball. And he's come such a long way this tournament. I think he right now is one of those guys in the starting team going forward. He is one of the first options. He probably is the second option at winger right now, and he fully deserves it. I mean, he's a young guy. He plays with such a composed head on his shoulders. He looks like he's been there before. He looks like he's been there for years. So I think having the likes of Louis Bielbarri on number 11 and Tio Atisogbe at number 14 is probably any coach's dream right now. I mean, they both work really well off their wings. They kind of incorporate themselves into the backline almost as a fullback sometimes, or as an outside centre, or they really work well running off the shoulder of Mathieu Jalibert or off the shoulder of one of the centres. So they really do get involved well, and they kind of make it seem like France have more players on attack than they do because they work so well off their wings. So I think those two, it's a bit of a no-brainer for me. And at number 15, I mean, obviously it's going to be him, the magician, the wizard, I don't know what you call him, but Thomas Ramos. This guy is absolutely awesome. He's having an incredible Six Nations. He does make a few mistakes, but that's what you get from him. It's kind of a high risk, high reward, but it never really goes bad for him either. So it's not really a high risk, is it? So he does a lot of incredible plays that a lot of players in the world would not be able to do because he has such a good footballing ability as well. I think if he wasn't a rugby player, he would be a professional footballer because he is absolutely awesome when it comes to kicking out of hand. And I mean, the things this guy can do, just thinking last week or 2 weeks ago to the Italy game, kicks the ball out on the full. The very next play, a few seconds later, at least 5 seconds later, gets the ball back, does a box kick style kick over the Italian defense, 50-22, France get the ball back and eventually score. So he is a game changer, and he is one of those guys that can change the game just by the boots that he has, just by his kicking boots. So he's really such a good player. He's very intelligent, and if you do give France a penalty within your own half, he will kick the ball over. He is one of the best kickers from the tee right now in world rugby. So I think Thomas Ramos, of course, will be at number 15 this game. Moving on to the bench. At number 16, I've gone for Piato Mavaka. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. He's a really good player off the bench for France right now. He is one of those guys, like you could probably call it like a bomb squad style player, where his style just suits that kind of last 20 minutes of the game, when the game starts to open up, when you maybe need an energy boost, a bit of a lift up in energy from the team. He's the perfect guy to bring on. He's really good on maul offense. He knows exactly when to break from the back of the maul. He's a very good attacking hooker, and he almost runs like a different center. So if you bring a guy like him on, you almost bring on a bit of an extra center in the back line because he's very good, he's very skillful, and he's really powerful. So yeah, he's definitely the guy that I would have at number 16 for France this weekend. Moving on to the two bench props. At number 17, I've gone for Reggie Montan, and number 18, Rodrigue Netti. I think with the players they have available, they're not going to try to change too much in the front row. I mean, I've said it before, the props have kind of been where they've been struggling, but I also think changing that right now, the props kind of have a bit more cohesion with the hookers up front. They know how to scrum together. They're kind of getting a bit better. They didn't get dominated as much by Italy as people thought, so they are maybe trending on the up. I know it is a bit of a worrying position for France right now, but I do think a bench front row of Piato Mavaka, Reggie Montan, and Rodrigue Netti does make sense for this game. It is a big game, and I think changing too much might be a bit detrimental to the team. Moving on to the two locks on the bench, I've gone for Emmanuel Miaofu and Thibaut Flamet. Emmanuel Miaofu at number 19. He is absolutely awesome. Man of the match performance against Italy. A lot of people will probably be saying he should be starting this game, but I do think that Charles Olivon and Michael Guillard have been phenomenal and don't deserve to be dropped. It's a bit of a weird one for the locks right now for France because they've all been performing at such a high level, and it's almost weird. Like it's like they've been dropped, the Emmanuel Miaofu and Thibaut Flamet, but they actually add so much from the bench that they could do anything they want with those combinations and it'll still be fine. And I think they know, Emmanuel Miaofu and Thibaut Flamet know that they've got a very, very important and valuable role in this France team. So number 19, Emmanuel Miaofu. Number 20, Thibaut Flamet. He was really missed again in the Ireland game. He didn't play that game due to personal reasons, I think, but he's back now. He's been absolutely awesome. A kind of a traditional style lock, but he's got really good skills and he's a very good athlete as well. You don't want to see him on a break because I think many backline players won't be able to catch him either. So I think those two on the bench together will add a lot of punch, a lot of size, and probably will help the second half scrum, because I think in the second half, France have kind of been struggling with their scrums recently, but having the likes of Emmanuel Miaofu and the likes of Thibaut Flamet come on together just adds a lot of power, a lot of weight, a lot of stability at scrum time, as well as line out time as well. So you don't really lose much by adding them or bringing on off guys like Charles Olivon or Michael Guillard. So either way, whichever option they do go with, I think it's the right option. But I do think for this game, Emmanuel Miaofu and Thibaut Flamet off the bench does make sense, and I do think that probably is the way they'll go forward for France this year. All right, moving on to number 21. a young guy. I didn't know he was young at all. A very, very dominant forward, Lenny Nushi. He has been really impressing me so far this tournament. I think throughout the first two games, he played 47 minutes, but he had the joint most dominant carries and the joint most dominant tackles so far in the tournament. So he has been absolutely ruthless every single time he's touched the ball. I honestly thought, when I first saw him, I thought he was one of the older players because he looks like an older guy. I didn't really realize he's only 22 or 21 years old or something like that. He is still a very young player, but he has so much potential and so much promise. And as much as I say he's got so much potential, he's living up to that potential right now. He's showing he is that player right now that deserves that shot. And I think maybe at the start of the tournament, people would have been saying, well, when other guys come back, he has to drop out the team. But now he's kind of cemented himself as that bench role. And I think the likes of a Piato Mavaka, Emmanuel Miaufu, and a Lenny Nushi, those are guys on the bench that can add such a punch that you're not going to take them out the squad right now. They've played their way into the team and they know they have a very valuable role within the 23. So, I mean, Lenny Nushi, kudos to him. He's been awesome and I think he's going to have another really big performance this week. I think he's one to definitely watch out for, especially on Scotland's side. He's going to come on, he's going to be doing rampaging runs and he's going to be very difficult to stop. Now, moving on to number 22, I definitely think they're going to go with Baptiste Serene again. Hopefully, Baptiste Serene can get a bit more game time, especially in a close game. I know Antoine Dupont is the main guy, so it's very difficult for them to bring him off, especially he is the captain. He plays most of the minutes. He has the most impact. But if things are going well for France, I would love to see the likes of a Baptiste Serene really get more game time. He is such an incredible player, and he's looked really good every time he's been given an opportunity this tournament. So I hope Baptiste Serene can get more game time, and I'm pretty sure he will be in the number 22 jersey. Moving on to number 23. The number 23 jersey's been changed quite a bit so far this Six Nations, but I do think that number 23 this week will be Emilien Gaiton. He's a guy that can play centre, he can play wing, and I think if one of those guys that just came back from an injury, Yoram Fana or Nicolas Depote, do get injured, then I think Emilien Gaiton is the perfect guy to just plug into those positions. I'd say between him and Fabien Bralbury, he's probably been the standout player between those two recently in the last few games in the Six Nations. That's probably what I would say. He's been absolutely awesome, and I do think he does deserve a spot in the 23. I think taking him out of the 23 altogether would be a bit of a shame because he's been a really good, solid player. He beats defenders, he's physical, he just looks like an international level player, and I think he's just passed his international test with flying colours. So he's the perfect guy to have in the number 23 jersey. And I think if you do want the best players in your 23 every single weekend, Emilien Gaiton right now has proved that he needs to be there. So that's absolutely awesome for him. And that's just what I think the team will be. So I'll go over it one more time. This is what I think it should be and what it probably could be this week against Scotland. Number 1, Dorian Aldegheri. Number 2, Julien Marchand. Number 3, Jean-Baptiste Gros. Number 4, Charles Olivon. Number 5, Michael Guillard. Number 6, Francois Cross. Number 7, Oscar Jégu. Number 8, Anthony Gelange. Number 9, Antoine Dupont. Number 10, Mathieu Jalibert. Number 11, Louis Bielbarri. Number 12, Yoram Mofana. Number 13, Nicolas Depote. Number 14, Theo Atisogbe. Number 15, Thomas Ramos. Number 16, Piato Mavaka. Number 17, Reggie Monton. Number 18, Rodrigue Netti. Number 19, Emmanuel Miaufu. Number 20, Thibaut Flamel. Number 21, Lenny Nushi. Number 22, Baptiste Serene. And number 23, Emilien Gaiton. That's just what I think, guys. If you do agree, let me in the comments down below. If you disagree as well, let's talk about it. I want to hear all your opinions, so let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.